Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We from group writing, and I'm the first member of this group. My name is Heri Sufriady. Our group consists of the first one is Devinta Dwi Syabila, the third one is Dhea Fitri Aulia, Ahdan Zuhdy, Dimas Mahanugrah, and then Reyner Josis.
A cloze test is like a fill-in-the-blanks exercise. Here how it works and how it's evaluated. The steps. The first, you get a passage with some word missing. And the second, your job is to fill in the missing words with the right ones. And the third, you might be given a list of words to choose from. And finally, the passage is then checked to see how well you filled in the blanks. And the criteria. The first, can you pick the right words to fill in the blanks? The second, do the words you choose make sense in the context? The third, are you spelling and punctuation correct? The fourth, how well do you understand the passage? And the last, your scores is based on how many correct words you fill in. More correct words mean more better scores. It's a way to test your understanding of a text and your language skills from a cloze test assessment. Thank you.
In this section, I'm going to tell you about the text that we're going to use in this video to teach our student. We choose recount text, which is one of the most basic texts that usually teacher use to teach writing to student. Because recount text is a text where student only tell about their own experience in the past. Could be others, but usually teacher tells student to tell about their own experience. So the name of this text is Adventure in the Rainforest, and then maybe the text will be appear in this site. Okay, so that's the text that we're going to use. Thank you.
Okay. Vocabulary and contextual understanding. So, cloze tests can help students improve their vocabulary and comprehension skills as they need to understand the context to fill in the blanks accurately. And then grammar and syntax. This test can reinforce grammar and syntax rule, as students must use the correct forms of words or phrase to complete the text. Then critical thinking, of course, they encourage critical thinking as a student analyze the passage to determine the missing words. And then self-assessment cloze test. So it allows students to assess their language skill and identify areas for improvement. Okay, that's all for the advantage. How about disadvantage? Okay, for the disadvantage, first of all, limited creatively cloze test. So cloze test may identify with the creativity as students are constrained to the provided text and cannot express their ideas freely. So the cloze test can limit it creatively of students. And then memorization. Some students may memorize answer instead of genuinely learning the language. So the students is just answer just remember the answer, just memorize but not learning it. And then cultural bias. Cloze tests might contain culturally biased content that some students might not relate to or understand. So they just answer it, but they don't really understand what they answer. And then not ideal for all skills. They are more suited for testing vocabulary, grammar, and reading comprehension than for evaluating writing skill directly. So, to use cloze tests effectively in a writing class, they should be one of several assessment tools, and teachers should carefully design the test to align with the learning objectives. That's all for me.
Dictation is like a listening and writing exercise. Here's how it works and how it evaluates. The first steps. Someone reads words or sentence to you, and then you listen and write down what you hear. And last, then you compare what you wrote to what was said. And how dictation assessed? First, they check if you wrote the words correctly. Second, they look at your writing quality, like grammar and punctuation. The third, they assess how well you listened and wrote what you heard. And the fourth, they see if you followed the instructions. Your scores is based on how accurately you wrote what you heard. It helps test that your spelling and listening skills in a language.
And I'm the one who's gonna dictate a sentence for you in this session. So there are two completed sentences, and in every sentence there are 3 steps that you need to follow. The first step, you only need to listen to me. Second, I will repeat it slowly for you. sentence after sentence, and I want you to write it pretty carefully. And last, I want you guys to recheck your answer while I'm gonna read it for you one last time. I hope you guys understand. So this is the sentences. The first sentence is, last year I decided to embark on an adventure I had never tried before. Okay? I'll repeat it for you sentence after sentence. So try to write it down. Last year I decided to embark on an adventure I had never tried before. Okay? So this is the last step. I want you guys to recheck it. Last year I decided to embark on an adventure I had never tried before. Okay? Now let's move on to the second sentences. We successfully completed our journey safely, and it was an experience we'll cherish forever. Okay, that's the first sentence. I want you guys only to listen to it, so you guys familiar with it. Okay, this is the second step. I want you guys to write it down. We successfully completed our journey safely, and it was an experience we'll cherish forever. Okay, you guys get it? Now to the last step. I want you guys to recheck your answer, okay? As usual. We successfully completed our journey safely, and it was an experience we'll cherish forever. Okay?
And now I will explain about the advantages and disadvantages of dictation test. The first advantages is reliable for listening test. The second is measure general proficiency, and the third is an excellent device for grouping students according to their abilities level. And the advantages is, first, student can take it trivial. The second, when we are marking, may become problematic or difficult. And the third is, if it not recorded on tape, it can be less reliable, in different speed.
Okay, so now that you have learned the two types of assessment in the context of writing clues, which is dictation and also closed test, you may be wondering, I got two options in my hand right now. When should I use dictation and when should I use closed test? So the first one is dictation. So when you are going to test your students' listening comprehension and also writing skills, you can use dictation, because those are the two things that dictation is used for. It's used for testing students' listening comprehension and also writing skills. On the other hand, closed test is used when you are going to test your students' reading comprehension and also your students' vocabulary. Not only that, closed test can also test students' ability to use context clues. So those are the three things that the closed test is used for. So the summary is, if you are going to test not only writing skills but also listening skills, you can use dictation. But when you are going to test not only your students' writing skills but also reading skills, you can use closed test. So those are the things that you need to consider when to use closed test or when to use dictation. So that's all from me. I hope this helped you to get better at being a teacher.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.